Happy Saturday, everyone.
Hey, everybody.
Get your cups of coffee
That's
and
right.
join us this morning.
Have some good stuff.
Good morning.
Yeah, good mornings.
It is a wonderful, beautiful fall weather all of a sudden. We
Yes,
are
it
back
is.
to a little bit warmer. We'll take it.
At least for now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super nice. Well, we're sitting in here in my studio because this is a job that should have been done back in when I closed my business in end of March, beginning of April. So what we have done since 2008 is you're gonna go ahead and stuff
I'm going to
envelopes.
stuff envelopes,
He's gonna
baby.
beat me.
No.
What we did since 2018 is every bride who bought a gown from us, no matter the value of the dress or no matter what kind of dress she bought, we always gave one of these books, The Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts.
Yep.
And I think we landed at well over almost 450. So
Yep.
as we're doing this now, the names I have are actually a stack of the girls who bought dresses from me right at the end, the last 2 months, where we just kind of had a clearance sale. And
Yeah, when Krista retired and closed her shop.
then we didn't do official paperwork on them and all that kind of stuff. We just had their invoice. And so I
Yep.
promised to get them out a book, and
Yep.
that was in April. And here we are in October, and
Yep.
I have not done my job. So Jay is going to help me stuff envelopes.
Yep.
So I'm writing their name and address, and we're going to be also sending them some goodies in there along with the book.
Yep.
But what is this book about? This is an awesome book. We love this book, and it is great for kind of a premarital counseling.
And I think we've showed you guys this book in a past few
Yeah.
videos, actually. But it's a great book.
It has 7 questions to ask before you get married. And we actually, to be fair, for all of those of you that are married, we got this book after 25 years of marriage.
Yep.
And we went through the book because we were working with some other couples, and we found out new things about each other. They're basically conversation starters. So like question 1 is, have you faced the myths of marriage with honesty? So it kind of goes over the myths of marriage, which is really good because we all have myths and lies about marriage that don't end up coming true.
Yeah, like everything's perfect and blissful and it's always going to stay that way.
Yeah, I should actually...
No, it doesn't.
I should actually just... I haven't read this in a while, so I should try to find one of those myths. Let's see if I can just pop one out. We expect exactly the same things from marriage.
No, you don't.
Everything good in our relationship will get better.
No, it won't.
Everything bad in my life will disappear.
No, it doesn't.
My spouse will make me whole.
No.
So, just really good discussions. They have a lot more. And then question 2 is, can you identify your love style? So it's kind of like the book we were reading, Love Language.
Yeah.
This is Love Style.
The 5 love languages.
We got to go through this book again because I can't remember what all those were.
Yeah.
Have you developed a habit of happiness? And they actually took it from a study that couples who have these certain habits actually are happier and married longer. So they're great habits to have. And can you say what you mean and understand what you hear? It's basically communication. And have you bridged the gender gap? So like, what are you expecting from the woman and the man? And then also, will you speak a different language? All of that kind of stuff. Do you know how to fight a good fight? That's always a good one.
Oh, yeah.
How are you fair when you fight? And are you and your partner soulmates? These are just, great 7 great questions. And so we have for the last, 2018, is that 4 years now? 18, 19, 20, 21.
Yep.
4 years we've been giving those away. So that's pretty awesome that we were somewhere around 450. I don't know where we'll be after.
And
all
we
of these.
know some couples will park it on their bookshelf and they'll only use it in an emergency. I know other couples will probably read it from start to finish, and other couples won't read it at all. So, it's just, we feel that we want to be proactive in helping couples. We feel that this book is being proactive in helping you. So that's why we get these books and hand them out to the couples.
Yeah. I think that it's building a foundation. We've talked about that often, and we need to start probably doing some videos about the foundational bricks of marriage. Because early on, if you build those foundations, then when the storms of life come and kind of almost tear your house down, your foundation is still strong.
Right.
And you can rebuild real easily.
It's like Three Little Pigs.
It's the Three Little Pigs.
Except for in marriage form.
Yeah, I haven't heard that story in a long time. So what is this? It's straw? What are the... I know the last one's brick.
I think it was straw, mud. I think it's straw, mud, and brick, I think.
Yeah. Straw, mud, and brick.
Is it straw, mud, and brick, or is it straw, sticks, and brick?
Sticks.
Straw, sticks, and brick?
It was like, like little... Instead of like logs, it was made with like little twigs.
And yes, we are discussing the Three Little Pigs with you guys. So sorry.
Well, what else do you do on a Saturday?
You just keep stuffing envelopes with marriage books. That's what you do.
So thanks for joining us on our little chore here and everything. Yeah. Yesterday we posted a video that was a clip from our Wednesday video. And we started to discuss why we do what we do. Why are we so kind of vulnerable on camera? We've done that often too.
Well, we try to be transparent. Mm-hmm. We've had older couples. I say older when we were probably your age or a little younger.
They were probably younger than us.
They were our age or a little older. But we had couples that were married a long time that are great examples. Ed and Dolly. And then there was also a couple that unfortunately got a divorce, but that was Jim and Ellen. Mm-hmm. That also.
They were a good example at that time.
At the time.
Us, yeah.
Yeah. They gave us good insight into what makes marriage work and how to have a successful marriage. And with Ed and Dolly, a biblical marriage. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Yeah, and I think what else good.
Is, though, we've had really good examples of marriage.
Yep.
And then we've had false examples of marriage.
Well, everyone has a doozy. We call it the doozy couple. The couple that, you think that they have a good marriage, but then when everything hits the fan or it all comes down to when the rubber meets the road, it wasn't as it was portrayed.
Well, I think what happens is we all do that, especially if you're in the church scene or whatever. So your kids could be screaming at home. You can hardly get them dressed, get their shoes on. You're running late. You're pulling together. You're arguing on the way to church. And then the moment you get out of the car at church, you put on the happy face. You walk through the door and you all look like you're all polished and together. And so how that damages is we are not teaching the younger couples that it's okay to have imperfections.
Right.
That they're not going to have it all together.
No, it's causing couples to have a lot of anxiety. It really is. Mm-hmm. Because if you're teaching them to give off false pretenses around people, whether it's at church or whether it's if you're not even a churchgoer, mm-hmm. just around your family and friends, that you're putting off this persona that your marriage is so mm-hmm. fantastic, but in, private, it's not.
Yeah. And I think that early on we looked around and everybody was looking all good And we were struggling in some areas.
Yeah, they looked like they were going to a party.
Yeah, and we were just struggling. We didn't realize that it's normal to have some of these struggles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe that could be why some of the couples nowadays are falling apart, is because they're like, oh, I married the wrong person. It wasn't my soulmate. I must have married the wrong person because we fight about this or that, and my life doesn't look like everybody else's life. It's not all put together.
Right.
And so I better just divorce him or her, and maybe we could try again and get it right the second time.
Yeah.
But I think no matter who you marry, you're going to run across some, you're going to run across imperfections.
Right.
Even when in the dating scene they look perfect.
Right.
They still leave the toilet seat up.
Well, I think that's the problem in the dating scene when you're dating someone. It's all new. It's all like fresh, and everything's exciting, and they can do no wrong. And then when you're with them for a lot longer, or even a little longer, I know probably couples is like, oh my God, I can't wait till I find somebody else. It's just, I don't even know how to put it. When the newness wears off, that's when you have to roll up your sleeves and you work hard at keeping the relationship together and learn the skills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And
I mean, they gotta have tools in their hands. And I think that's why we've said this in past videos. That's why we are trying to convey to you guys some of the tools we use and the ways that we deal with conflict or communication or whatever, that it helps you guys too.
Yeah, having those strong foundational things. We just finished up a series on how to know when you're ready to get married.
Right.
And even if you're already married, it's a good series, but it talks about all the things you need to know, some of those questions about what you need to know before you're going to step in and get married. And if you're already married, how can you improve on that? How can you improve communication? How can you improve or get together and set goals or figure out what your values are? And then even if you're on the wrong track right now, you can move forward, or you can better yourself. You can still do some excavation. It's
never too late. You can always change directions. Mm-hmm. You can always work on fixing things.
Yeah.
And then if you don't have anything to fix, you just, like that saying, if it's broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, like you're saying. So what you're saying is if it's pretty much working but somebody else says you should do it different, don't excavate to try to make that different. If it's already working, don't fix what's not broke.
Especially if the person that's telling you what to do to fix your relationship is single, and they have no clue as far as a relationship or marriage, especially if they haven't ever been married.
Yeah,
because they have no clue what they're talking about. And I'm talking a single person that's a counselor, all the way to your best friend, to an acquaintance, or whoever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? I mean, just because they have ideas doesn't make them...
Be careful of the advice you get. Or be careful of who you befriend. I'm going to try to write this and talk at the same time, so you keep talking too.
You're fine. I think that you need to heed the advice of those that are wise around you, especially, say you've had parents that, or one of you has had parents that have been married, 40 years, 50 years, whatever. Obviously, they've done something to make the marriage work, and you probably should heed their advice, as opposed to, like I just said, a single person that doesn't have any clue about marriage.
Well, and weigh their advice, because a lot of people are willing to give advice but they don't know the whole scenario, and so they don't know what's best for your marriage, right?
Yeah, and also don't take advice if it's not asked. I mean, if they're like, "Hey, I got a great idea. This is what you guys should do to better your relationship." It's like,
so wise counsel is important, but being careful that you're getting wise counsel is also important.
yep,
If you're if you're a Christian, weigh that to the Bible. What does the Bible say versus what they say? You know, if they're telling you to just, you know, leave this guy and forget about it, but the Bible is teaching about forgiveness and that people can be restored, then, you know, go with that. And as we always say, abuse is a whole different ballgame.
right.
So when we're giving this advice to hold out, stay, we're not talking about true abuse.
Yeah, physical or mental. Yeah, we're not talking about that.
Yeah. So,
We're talking about things that, you know, are typical of every relationship out there.
Mm-hmm.
Money and finances, or money, which is finances, and communication, fighting fair, just like the book, you know.
Exactly. Just like the book. And that's why and that book actually has, let me see if I can find it. It has workbooks right over here.
Yep.
We actually, believe it or not, have it in Spanish.
Yep.
And I've got Saving Your Second Marriage Before It Starts. And by the way, we would not mind sending you out a free...
I was just thinking that, yeah.
A free book. So we need to put our email address in the description.
We'll put it in the description, and if you guys need a Spanish version or English version or whatever.
Or a second marriage.
Yeah, we have one that's Saving Your Second Marriage Before It Starts.
And then I only have one of these left. I don't have very many of the workbooks, but you can also get them on eBay. And they have the workbook for men and workbook for women. And that goes along with it and actually gives you a workbook type thing. So if you're doing premarital counseling, this is the greatest setup for premarital counseling.
Yep.
But even if you're already married, this book is worth going through and maybe getting a fresh start, a new start in your life.
Or in your future marriage.
Yeah.
Or your marriage.
We're here in my sewing studio, and one of my favorite parts is this bookshelf, which holds, we have the 5 love languages up here. And then we're thinking in about a week of starting a new book series. And this one is Men Are Like Waffles, Women Are Like Spaghetti.
Yep.
And that's going to be fun. So watch for that. And we noticed our book series wasn't going as well as some of the other videos. So we thought about not doing a book. But this one is on personality differences. And I think
it's a funny book.
I think it's worth...
It's good.
I think it's worth going through.
This one is, for sure.
Yeah, and it's funny, so it's not boring.
Mm-mm.
I mean, Jay even likes it, and he's not, he doesn't like boring books.
Oh boy.
Even Jay likes it.
Yeah. If I like it, everybody else should be able to like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
So yeah, thanks for sharing a Saturday morning with us as we do a chore that should have been done 6 months ago, 7 months ago.
Yeah, long time ago.
Yeah, we'll get these out.
We've had the books for a while.
If you bought a wedding gown from me at the end, be patient. We have quite a few to send out, and we noticed we didn't even have enough. And I have a ton down here stacked up, and we didn't have enough to get out to everybody. So we have another order coming, and then we'll get those out. But now that things are slowing down for fall, now we will get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, things are really slowing down for fall.
Hallelujah. We can actually breathe now. So we can do all the chores that we have been putting off. Mm-hmm. So what are you planning on for Saturday?
I don't know. Well, I'm going to help you finish these.
That's true.
Yeah.
This might take all day. But I figured we'd
There's a lot of envelopes.
Figured we'd chisel it little by little. We'll do a little bit today, a little bit tomorrow, a little bit the next day. We'll get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't want to. The weather's kind of nice, and it might be the last time, so we don't want to be stuck in here the whole day.
It is decent today. Although
Yeah.
they said Saturday would be decent, so that's good.
Yes.
Awesome.
So.
Anyway, from our marriage to yours, Jay and Krista, helping you say I do forever.
Yes.
Till next time.
Till next time.
See you guys.
Love you guys. Have a good Saturday.